Now, another cool thing is getting on the FOC list. FOC is final order cutoff, and Eric brought it early tonight because we're recording a little early, and was kind enough to get this thing hot off the presses. Nobody has seen this anywhere, so we're excited about that. Eric, lead us through this. What's on here that's of note today?
Oh, man, that is a great question. Well, at the top, we start with where Kyle used to like to start in Dark Horse. There's really, it's kind of the typical items. One thing that they've got is the Frozen. They've got the Disney Kids book, so Frozen Breaking Boundaries #2 is on there. The first issue has sold really well for us. Has a nice crossover audience between adults and kids, so... don't let it go.
Oh my goodness, Kyle!
But probably the biggest thing. Sorry,
Kyle.
Go ahead.
I think missed the boat on this one because his daughter is a Frozen fanatic.
Yeah, mine too. I think last count we had 2 Elsa dresses and an Elsa nightgown. I swear. But probably the biggest thing that's coming out from Dark Horse that's on FOC right now is MST3K #1 Mystery Science Theater 3000. There's 2 covers, there's an A and a B, but this is one that I think a lot of people are getting excited for. It's basically it takes right off where the original MST3K was from Joel Hodgson. It's, I don't know what else you want to know, but it's basically it's going to be, if you're an MST3K fan, this is a book for you.
It's going to be a cult following. People are going to seek this
Absolutely.
out. When the Firefly book came out, the Brown Coats came out for that.
And it's Dark Horse, so it's going to get overlooked by a lot of people.
The Rick and Morty crowd went crazy for that book, so it's going to fall in that same vein, and this will be something. You definitely, if you missed the boat when it was solicited, pick this up at FOC. You got a chance to pick it up, and that's Todd Knock on the cover A there, right? He's pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, it's something worth picking up for sure.
That's really what I've got for Dark Horse, other than the ongoing series.
That's what I was gonna mention as well, is the MSDK.
Well, on to DC. Yeah, we start off with a good one. Holy crow! Batman Dam #1 by Brian Azzarello. We don't have the Jim Lee B cover art yet, but boy, that Lee Bermejo cover is.
So it's a 3-issue miniseries. That's an interesting choice.
$7. It's a little bit higher priced one. But and it's. I think this is the first of the DC Black items that are coming out.
Well, they've retroactively the Black Label. They've retroactively called White Knight the Black Label so the trade dress will have that insignia on it.
Meh.
Yeah, they cheated.
But no, so this is. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Now I think this might be a regular sized item, but some of the black items are going to have goofy form factor sizes because creatives, man, duh.
Yeah, going to go landscape and it'll be like barrier, so you'll be complaining about that.
Yeah, so your retailer will be cursing your
I'll
name.
have to give you magazine bags for them.
Oh, Jesus. That was not fun.
Hey, what's the feedback been on the Brian Hill run of Detective so far?
Good. We haven't seen any dips. We've actually added a couple more people.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and people are really liking the Mark Brooks variants as well. So it's 2 really good things going for it.
Yeah, it's got a really good feel to it. Reads really well. Feels authentic. Old school detectiving seems to be going on. I like it.
Detectivizing.
Yeah. That's
right before that, though, is probably the biggest of the DC variants. Is Catwoman 3. It's an Art Germ cover.
At the B,
a.k.a. Stanley Lau. Yep, the B. And it is
beautiful.
The guy's good, man. What can I say?
Yeah, I'd like to know what his settings are in Photoshop to do that. It's really beautiful.
I think it goes into God mode when he starts doing things because, he's a really, really nice guy to chat with. Very humble, but boy, his art really jumps off the page.
Yeah, you can see it. There's some people aping his style a little bit now. I've noticed.
Oh yeah,
I see a little bit more of that sort of style, and I'm like, well, you're stealing art germs.
You can tell it's not him though.
Yeah, well, it doesn't stack up, but
no. Probably next up, as far as things of note, would be the Sandman Universe House of Whispers #1. We've got both a standard and a variant cover.
What's the scuttlebutt for the Sandman Universe? Are people old school Sandman fans coming out and just ordering the whole lot, or are they picking and choosing? How's that working?
Picking and choosing, but we actually found a number of people that came out for Sandman 1 that had never read Sandman before, and they were all hoping that it was a good jumping on point.
Wow.
I snagged it for myself, but haven't read it, so we'll see. But there was a lot of excitement for it. The covers were really cool. They're good-looking covers. And speaking of covers, House of Whisper #1, did you see who the variant cover artist is?
I'm clicking right now. Oh, Bill Sienkiewicz.
So I'll put you down for one.
I'll have to check. I might already have that on order.
If you don't, I'll put you down for one.
I miss that stuff. Sometimes I do, though. I definitely do.
Sometimes you do, and I usually catch it for you. Yeah.
It's my beloved Scooby Apocalypse, the 29th issue.
Oh, man. You got to check out the Yasmin Putri Red Hood and the Outlaws variant. This one, I think, might be one to keep an eye on. It sings of the same types of thing like that Batgirl 23 and a couple other of those covers that just came out of the middle of nowhere. Oh, the Nightwing, was it Nightwing 41 or 40? That the almost all blue cover. But this one is very visually fetching, and this might be one for people to keep an eye on.
Dripping Red Skull, I like that. Or Dripping Red Hood,
yeah,
I like
with
that
the
a
bats.
lot.
Yep, with the bats flying out the blue and the black, I think to signify Nightwing and Batman. New costume, new weapons. Make a note of that for myself. Let's add a few of those for the shelf. Okay. Scooby Apocalypse. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, I just have to point it out because it's almost reached 30 issues. Scooby Apocalypse has almost reached 30 issues. I think it's the only thing left from that whole launch by far. I think everything else is gone. From that whole launch of those restyled Hanna-Barbera things. Pretty sure they're all gone. But I just would have never guessed it'd be pushing 30 issues, and I've read every one. It still freaks me out that I love it so much. It's crazy. It's crazy. It makes it. I don't know what it says about me, but I dig it.
Then beneath that, we've got Suicide Squad with a variant by Mattina. Those are always big sellers. And then Superman with a Hughes and Mac variant
How's
covers.
the Mattina Project Superpower stuff? Was that briskly pre-ordered? It hasn't come out yet, right?
Yeah. Issue 0 and issue 1 have come out. Both have been pre-ordered very well. And from what I've heard from people that have been reading it, they've actually been enjoying it quite a bit. I read the 0 issue. I have not read the first issue yet, but I enjoyed the 0 issue quite a bit.
Anything special happening in Titans 25?
Not that I'm aware of, but I can be dense at times.
I mean,
so
sometimes they do stuff for the 25, the issue that land on those numbers, and sometimes they don't. You never know.
Right. I mean, it's been Titans has been a good book to read. Dan Abnett's doing the writing, and it's been enjoyable. So.
Yeah. People that read it like it.
And then you got your Wonder Woman variant by Jenny.
And who's the new creator on this? Orlando.
Eek. Oh, yeah, Steve Orlando.
Eek. Nice guy, but his stuff doesn't work for me. Jenny Fresen she's been cranking these out for... Has she done all 54 B covers?
No, Frank Cho, I think, had the first 7. And then there was that falling out between Rucka and Rucka was trying to influence Cho, and Joe said, "Fine, I'll take my talents elsewhere," and he went to Harley at that point.
Yeah, and those have been great covers.
Sure have.
That's all I have in DC. You want to take a look at IDW?
IDW.
I have enjoyed the Black Crown Quarterly. That's a pretty nice book. I like it. It's kind of got that Dark Horse Presents feel to it.
Sure.
But, nah, probably not flippable.
It's not all about flipping.
No, we're fun and profit.
Because if it was all about flipping, you probably wouldn't be getting Scooby Apocalypse.
But I have flipped my Scooby Apocalypse.
Wow.
Yeah, I sold those pretty easily. Surprised.
That should be your spec pick every week then.
It's crazy. I think I still have some copies of Fred's Death, though, if anybody needs it.
Yeah, I don't really have too much in IDW.
Yeah.
IDW is a publisher for us that we don't do quite as much as we do with some of the other ones.
It's so heavy in licensed properties, and unless you're into that property, who cares?
Yeah, and I think they lost a significant amount of people from our store when they started doing that massive Transformers crossover, and then they did the full-on licensed toy crossover.
The Hasbro stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, it just got to be way too much for people, so that actually kind of just turned them off, unfortunately.
Well, let's go to Image then, my baby.
Yeah, you can drive this one. I'll ride shotgun.
Read Beauty. If you're not reading Beauty, go back and get that $9.99 trade for the first volume, because it's fantastic, and it's really been strong, and nobody else is reading it, but doggone it, it's good. Cemetery Beach, I've completely forgotten what that is, so I need to take a look at that. Warren Ellis and Jason Howard. Oh, the Trees guys are back together. Trees are something a lot of people liked. I couldn't get into.
Yeah, I enjoyed Trees. It just started moving a little too slow for me, so I ended up dropping off.
There's a 20th issue of Copperhead. Another great one. Hey Kids Comic. Anybody get that Shaken book?
Yeah, we sold a decent amount of those actually off the shelf.
And here's a chance to get another of the censored, uncensored charity variants for Hey Kids Comics number 2. These are only available through FOC, so I ordered a couple of the Unnaturals last week, and I'll probably take a look at some of these and see if any of them strike my fancy this week. Is that the only ones offered this week?
Oh boy, that's a good question.
Down here. Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah,
it's the only one that comes out this week, so it's that one or nothing.
I got 2 things to call out.
Alrighty.
One is not a spec book at all. It's a trade. It's Dead Hand. If you haven't been reading Dead Hand and you are at all interested in Cold War or Soviet espionage and all of that stuff, it's actually I've thoroughly enjoyed the book. It's been fantastic, and I would recommend anyone take a go at it.
I sampled the first issue and then dropped off, so maybe I should give it another gander.
You should. And then the other one that I'm looking forward to is MCMLXXV number 1, which I believe is Roman numerals for 1975.
Okay.
But it's a Joe Casey book, and it's a Manhattan cab driver that happens to be a badass monster fighter who wields an enchanted tire iron.
Very nice.
Sounds pretty good to me.
I'm excited about Man-Eaters. I really enjoyed Bitch Planet a lot, and this has that same kind of sensibility to me, So I'm thinking this is going to be written by Chelsea Kane, though, with art by Kate Nimchik and a cover by Leah Meternick. This is good stuff, I think. I think this is going to be a good one. So if you like Bitch Planet, I think you'll like this. And Bitch Planet just kind of fell off the face of the earth when we lost it. So I don't know what's going on there. But Man-Eater's #1, another opportunity to get that. I think that's it for Image that I see.
Cool.
As we take a look at some of the Marvel books available, there's some stuff going into second printings. We've got the second issue of Captain America, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Death of Inhumans, all going into second printing. We've got the second printing of Amazing Spider-Man 3, so a lot of books selling through.
A lot of it's sell-through, and then another part of it is manufactured
scarcity?
Manufactured collectability. Yep.
Well, wouldn't...
They know what they're doing, though.
Wouldn't this be driven by retailer demand for the book?
I would...
Is that also naive?
Yes, because these are announced many times before the original comes out.
Yeah, that's true. How would they know it's
so
so true?
On the Wednesday, on the Tuesday before the Wednesday the book hits, Marvel will announce second printing for whatever book. Order them now, limited supplies.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Because I think,
but hey,
I
works.
get the Image emails pretty regularly, and it's usually like on Thursday, or after the original book came out, or at least like late that day on Wednesday.
Yep.
So they I would assume they have some data that supports.
Yes, the other thing that would tell you that these are manufactured collectible items, which it works, and many of them do hold value, is it's a brand new cover. And why would you have a brand new cover created before the first printing hits the shelf?
Yeah, why would you pay that money?
Why would you pay an artist?
Where'd that cover come from?
Mm-hmm.
True, but that's the ones I like too, so I don't mind it.
Exactly.
I don't mind it.
Because and that's a very thin when, DC actually does a reprint of something, it's usually just a recolored cover.
Yeah, true. You are exactly true.
It's like I'm in this industry.
Yeah, you know your stuff. So Iceman did not do well. So let's give him another 5-issue miniseries about 3 months after the last one goes away. So it's back. So if you like that, you can get more of it.
Huzzah!
Enjoy. People seem to like the Infinity Wars a lot. A lot of people talking about that stuff, and issue 3 is out.
You got Journey into Mystery, Birth of Krakoa. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos face a mission unlike any they've ever tackled.
Yeah, that's not my style. Do you like that era?
I certainly don't mind World War II era. I'm a history guy. I like.
Yeah.
If you put me in that setting, I'm gonna enjoy it.
So old school Captain America is probably right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I forgot what Rising Omega is. Let me double check what that is. Devin Grayson. Oh, that's an all ages book, or younger.
Yep, it's the Miss Marvel Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Giddy up.
Yeah, not for me. They don't have to be for me.
No, they don't.
We've got some.
I would say.
We got some True Believers that's focused on the Defenders. So we got a Cage, Daredevil and the Defenders, Jessica Jones, Alias, and a Luke Cage Hero for Hire, all for $1, and all like their early seminal work.
Yep. And shortly underneath that, Venom #3, third printing. Venom #3 was That was the big hot Venom seller with the first appearance of some guy with an apostrophe in his name that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
So that's definitely one that I would say, as a potential spec book might be, especially if you have an A cover for the first print and you happen to have the second print, and then you have the third print, it might be a decent thing to put up a set.
There were tons of covers or printings of that first issue, weren't there?
Yeah.
4 maybe?
Sorry, I was just checking. It was the first appearance of Null, the symbiote god.
Yeah. Who's okay.
And they're already selling for $8 a pop on the old eBays.
And that was issue 3.
$12 for this guy. Holy Moses.
He must have had a good description. Lots of pictures.
That's the second print is selling for $12.
Oh, that's the second print.
Yep.
Oh.
First print looking like it's 20 to 25.
Dang. I was negative. I was negative about Venom too, so eating my words again.
Yes, you were.
Eating my words again. Doggone.
He ran out of hats to eat after the whatever that first one
Stabby
was.
Bunny.
Stabby Bunny, that's right.
Anything else in Marvel?
No.
Let's see. Boom doing anything. Ooh, Low Road West. That's a first issue. They have an incentive variant, a 15 copy incentive variant, so that'll cost you a little bit. $30 to be exact.
$30, and depending, and if you get the A cover or whatever, we can work. We can work a little bit. I might even do $29.25 for you, sir.
Wow! All right. We also have Welcome to Wonderland, which I believe I was interested in. I may have that one coming. Damn link's not working, but that's all right. Beggars can't
works for me.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yep.
What is that? Can you read it for me? Because I'm having trouble.
Yeah, I would be glad to. Writer Jackie Bell, Goldie Vance, and artist Maddie Gonzalez, Elements, present a coming-of-age story where fairy tales aren't exactly a dream come true. Bellamy Morris knows everything there is to know about Wonderland Park. She knows when all the most iconic rides were built, all the shortcuts around the park, and all the secret lore behind Old West Town, Space Age Metropolis, and New Princesston. So when she winds up in the real version of Wonderland with real princesses and adorable talking woodland creatures, Bellamy is sure that she has got this. That is, until it starts to become clear that this magical land isn't much like the real world park at all, and the characters she thinks she knows aren't at all like she'd imagined.
Yeah.
Sounds like an amusement park version of Lumberjanes.
Yeah. Or the Goldie Vance was like hotel detective type thing, and it was fun. So I don't know if it'll have that same sensibility, but I'm hopeful. Nothing else from Boom from me.
Ditto.
I don't see anything in Dynamite. I'm enjoying Nancy Drew, but I don't know if you need to buy 4 covers of it. Action Lab, I don't do much of their stuff. So it gets us down to Aftershock with Moth and Whisper #1. And that's not Jonathan Hickman on the cover, is it?
No, Jen Hickman. It's a young adult cyberpunk thriller starring a genderqueer super thief. Moth and Whisper is the brainchild of Ted Anderson, My Little Pony and Adventure Time, and Jen Hickman, Gem and the Holograms, and the Dead.
All right. Interesting. Now this Archie 1941, there were some preview pages in the back of one of the previous Archies that I've read, and it was okay. Still Mark Waid doing the writing, so it was fine. If you just want to, a period piece Archie that's even more previous than what you were getting from the original Archie, it's set way back. But it read fine, and I didn't mind it at all. So I'm going to definitely check this out. I'm curious if there's going to be any kind of heat on it. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's pre-ordering it much in your store, or it's on anybody's radar. But I liked what I read.
Yeah, we've definitely got some pre-orders for it. I'm interested in it again. I like all that the war era stuff, whether it's World War II or Cold War, Vietnam, Korea. I just a history guy, so I'm getting it for myself.
Yeah. So check that out. You know, you got another chance, another bite at the apple, as I like to say. You can grab that one.
Yep. And then underneath it, you got Vampironica,
which I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed the Small Woods take on this, and I thought it's been pretty good.
Let's see. I'm just kind of scanning the rest of the list to see if there's anything else.
Newberry and Hobbs. That number 1, is that a part of the Hard Case Crime by any chance? From Titan?
No, I do not think so. It's a steampunk mystery.
Not my speed normally.
It's a prose short.
Gotcha.
No pitches. No pitches.
But boy, there's a lot of offerings. So
sure,
there were some doldrums right after Comic-Con. There always are a few weeks where the output is very low, but we seem to have rebounded from that, and we still have one more week in August. So.
You completely missed the last thing on the list, and I thought you were going to call that one out.
I skip all the Trump stuff, so I have to skip it. And to be fair, I have to skip all the other side stuff as well.
Well, I don't know if you're going to spec if you should, because was there not significant heat on the ASM cover with Barack Obama on it?
Yeah, but that was like 2008, right?
Oh.
I think the heat is gone.
Okay.
Well, you call it out, man. You're a co-host.
There's a Barack Panther book that has 3 covers, so I wasn't sure if that would be something that people would even know was coming out because it's by the publisher Comics, and B, if it was something that people would be interested in getting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are Trump's Titans and all those doing well?
They have their peaks and valleys. Now, I will say, similar to the way you alluded to things, when it comes to political books, we tend to just order to subscribers. And if people come in after and ask if we got it in, we will usually just tell them we got it in, but all the copies are gone. We can look to reorder it if you want. Mostly because there's enough political stuff inside the regular offerings that the last thing we need to do is start kerfuffles over covers. So totally understandable. But if you're one of those people who would want to have that, just make sure that you get your pre-order in for your FOC order.
Nice. Oh, I know what we've got on August 22nd. That finished.
Hey, are we supposed to do our spec pick?
We don't normally do that. We should do that for the FOC. I'm gonna have to pull mine back up because I already closed it. I had already moved on.
I got my FOC spec pick.
Well, let's do it, man.
I'm going with Red Hood and the Outlaws 26 variant edition. I think that Yasmin Putri cover is going to be one to potentially get, and then I do have a second one, but I will let you go before I throw my other one.
I'm going to go with Mystery Science Theater 3000 number 1, and I'm going to go with the cover A because Kyle's here in spirit, and he always says go cover A. So I'm gonna go with MSTK. What's your wild card?
My wild card is going to be the Venom 3 third printing. If especially if you have first or second printing to bundle up with it, that'd probably be a good one to have a nice little set of.
Yep. So FOC, if your LCS doesn't do it and doesn't provide you the access to the FOC each week, drop Eric a line. He can get you on the FOC list, and you can at least check them out and maybe order some from time to time. It costs me more money because I usually always find a couple of things each week that now that I can see the cover, it looks cool, and I gotta do it, and I feel like I've got inside information, so it's kind of cool. It's very cool to have that. So let him know, and he'll hook you up. No strings attached. You don't have to buy, but he'll hook you up there as well.
Nope, this isn't like a Costco or a Sam's where you got to pay to be in the club.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Membership has its privileges.
That's right.
Coming up soon on the 22nd of August, I believe that's right, is a shop chat where Eric is hosting a Skype call with any and all that would like to chat about Cowabunga Comics, the mail order service, getting on the FOC list, any of that stuff, or just talk shop or talk comics. He's going to be available, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes, but he can tell you a little bit more about it and how to get on.
Yeah. So we're going to do on the 22nd, so Wednesday the 22nd, starting at 8 p.m. Central. It's going to be on Skype, and the easiest way to get involved is to look for me. My Skype handle is EHELWIG86, and when I pop on, just ping me and say, hey, I'm here. I'd like to join the shop chat, and I'll start pulling people into a call. It's totally driven by the audience, as I like to say. This is we've never done this before. On our podcast, we will talk about a lot of different things from a retailer perspective, but there are sometimes people have a follow-up question, or we don't want to go into as much detail on a recording just in case. We do try and keep some things close to the vest, but we may let a few extra things slip. This will not be recorded. It's not meant for that purpose. It's really just meant as kind of an extra little thank you for those of our customers and people who listen to it and want to talk about it, and kind of a fun opportunity for James and I to do more of like a live show type thing where we get to interact with people that either listen to our podcast or listen to us when we jump on yours, Drew, or if we're on John's, things like that. So it's going to start at 8. It'll probably run maybe a couple hours. At the most, we're probably not going to go deep into the night because it's the middle of the week and we all have, some of us have multiple jobs to do. But it's just an opportunity that we thought would be kind of fun. James will be there as well for at least the first hour. He is going to be packing up and going to Wizard World Chicago the next day. So depending on how late it goes, he may have to jettison so he can get himself squared away for that. But that will be the plan.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I'll put that information in the show notes on how best to do that, or just rewind the podcast there and listen to it again.
Right.
Let's hop over to the sneak peek at next week. These are comics coming out August 22nd in your comic book shops, and we'll start at Image to see what's coming out this Wednesday. We've got Cold Spots #1, and this is another Colin Bunn book. Who's done a fantastic run on Harrow County and countless other things. So this is about psychological terror, the undead, and a supernaturally bitter cold coming together in the spine-tingling new series. So sounds kind of interesting. Colin Bunn, very prolific creator, does a lot. Let's see. Got a second issue of Die, Die, Die. Which I think it was FOC only, right? Or through the retailer. So it still hasn't been in a previews yet, I don't believe. The first issue was fantastic. I'm psyched for this issue as well. I've got a couple issues coming and I'm excited about, so I can't wait to read the second issue. I was really, really blown away. I thought it would just be a gore fest for gore fest's sake, and that was not the case. It was a well done comic. So get it.
Yeah. Kind of a lot of the standard fare. You've got the next issues of Hack/Resurrection, Hit Girl. You've got a Postal Trade, which I know you were big on,
Yep.
Drew. You got Volume 7 coming out, and then Redneck, number 14, Royal City, number 14. Those are both coming out. Those are always, good sell-through on those. Saga 54 is the second printing, which that is the end of the... That's the pause mark, right?
This is the intermission stage. The cover is the same, just has a little bit of text in the lower right corner that says second printing on it. So it's the same cover. There was a very important plot point that occurred during this, and it also marks the end of Saga for a year, at least. BKV said a year at least. So this will be your last chance to buy a Saga single issue comic for a while. So I think you get this. It's going to be a much lower print run than 54 was. Something significant happens. There's going to be demand for Saga without any Saga. So I think it's worth picking up.
Cool.
The third issue of Shanghai Red, that's been really good. The first two issues were great. So it's a good read. Nothing else in Image from me. Let's head on down to Dark Horse. We got Beasts of Burden. This is Evan Dorkin doing the writing and Benjamin Dewey doing the art. Both really good at their jobs. This is about a heroic pack of canines known as the Wise Dogs set off on a mission to clean up a Pennsylvania corridor plagued by seemingly unrelated occult disturbances that include a fire salamander and a horde of mutant lurkers. A link is found among the various disturbances, leading our heroes to a mountain village inhabited by a survivalist witch cult who have discovered the existence of a blood lure attracting occult forces, creatures, and many more terrors to Burden Hill. So I don't know this series. It says it's back. I never heard of Beasts of Burden, but I know these creators are great. So I'm going to check this out and see if it makes any sense to me.
Sounds good.
When did the original series come out? Do you know?
Ooh, I do not know. I will not lie.
I don't. It has to have been a while ago because I don't recognize it at all.
Let's see what I can see.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think our listeners care.
Oh, it's no trouble.
We also have Black Hammer: Age of Doom, which has come back with a vengeance and been really strong. Picked up right where it left off. I'll be honest with you. I didn't go down the rabbit hole on any of the little side quest comics that came out that were tie-ins for Black Hammer, and I heard they were all really good. So I'm probably going to have to go chase those down at some other point. I heard you can read those on their own. You don't need to have read Black Hammer. So I plan on revisiting those at some point. But I still love Black Hammer. It's really, really great read.
Let's see here. I don't know. Not too much else in Dark Horse for me. Couple of collected editions. Gantz Omnibus, which is a manga. So yeah, not too much there.
I have nothing in IDW either, so unless you have something.
The only item that I have is it's a collected edition. It's the Star Wars Classic Newspaper Comics hardcover volume 3. Those are always kind of cool.
I don't remember that.
Al Williamson strips.
I don't think any of the newspapers I ever read had Star Wars comics in them.
A lot of Garfield and Foxtrot.
Yeah, they have Far Side and Bloom County and stuff like that, but I don't ever remember Star Wars. Was it like a Mary Worth or one of those like serial types?
Yeah, I think it was more of a serial type, and I remember one news. So I was born after this collection stopped, after Volume 3 stopped. I was born in '86, and I remember seeing some in a couple of newspapers, but not.
So it might have been like a '70s thing.
Yeah, it was. I think late '70s might have started, but it was through the '80s.
Okay.
Obviously, the first movie came out in '77, so it wouldn't have predated that. But it was into the '80s, and I remember seeing a couple of them, but didn't. By the time I was reading, it was Garfield and High and Lois and a couple other things, and that was about it.
Well, as we head into DC, we've got 3 covers for Action 1002. That's just cool to have that number that high. Legitimate number.
I'm looking forward to Batman Kings of Fear. Scarecrow is one of my favorite DC villains, and there's a cover B Sienkiewicz cover on it. That's quite a fetching cover.
People like Kelly Jones as well.
Yep, no slouch, but I like the Sienkiewicz better on this one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Flash has been enjoyable. Not a lot of heat on it, but it's definitely been an enjoyable read.
Really? Is it still Williamson? Yeah, still Josh Williamson.
Yep. Sorry, I was in the process of pulling up Justice League Dark. This is one that we weren't too sure how it was going to go, but it's been a great seller for us. A lot of people going after it. I don't know if it's doing anything on the secondary market.
Yeah, it's James Tynion, so I don't like him very well. I mean, I like him as a person, but his stuff usually gets long and Scott Snyder-y. Not in a good way. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't read it yet, so I haven't read the first one, but I will.
Do me a favor. Go to Teen Titans 21 Variant Edition. You tell me if you've heard of this artist and seen work that he, I think, maybe she, but has done before.
Alex Garner, and that has that same kind of filtery. It's an amazing cover, and I think Kyle was harping about this before when it was on the FOC list, and that's a great cover. But I've not heard of that person. Have to comics DB him. That's great. I believe that might have been Kyle's pick once too when that was on FOC.
What does he know?
Yeah. Anything else in DC that jumps out at you?
Other than the Jenny Frison Wonder Woman cover, not so much. She's got a different tone now of the covers. Kind of gone with that islandy feel. But no, that's it.
Well, as we head down to Marvel, we've got let's see. We know what X-Men Classified is now.
Yes, we do.
What an underwhelming thing that was.
No comment.
Mr. and Mrs. X, whoop-de-doo. So then we have a new Punisher relaunch. Matt Rosenberg, Greg Smallwood doing the cover. Art by Simon Kagranski. It's all great. It's just unnecessary. Unnecessary number one. But yeah, it looks great.
So if you look at Black Panther number 3, the cover artist for this was probably our most sold Black Panther number 1 variant artist in Hyuk Lee.
That's nice.
The purple and blue that he likes to use on the covers is just, it's gorgeous, and this is the A cover.
The only cover.
Is it, or is there one in the we got to go to that variant list?
Oh, really? Okay.
Maybe.
Gotcha. So,
yeah, there's 2 more. There's a Campbell variant, which, holy Christ, that's cool. That one was not available at FOC. Damn.
We have West Coast Avengers relaunch. It's number 1. West Coast Avengers, of course, was one of my favorite comics as a kid. Loved this comic. and this cover makes it look like hot garbage. But it is Kelly Thompson, who I think is a really good writer, and I'm hoping that the story's better on the inside than the cover looks like it's going to be on the outside. And I'm going to I'm going to be patient, and I'm not going to have a quick draw on dropping something. I'm going to give it a full arc because of my long history and love for the title. We've got the only remaining X-Men color left, and it is X-Men Red. I think the other two have ended or will be ending pretty soon. So right. X-Men Red's the only one left. And is there a black coming? X-Men Black? Is that right?
It rings a bell, but there's been so much X lately that I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we got Uncanny coming. We've got this John Byrne thing happening. A lot of X. We're hunting for Wolverine all over the place. Can't find him. There's a Wakanda Forever Avengers #1. It sounds like they're just throwing comic titles in a hat and pulling it out. Let's mix this one in with that one. That'll be great. Another great Venom cover by Ryan Stegman.
You gave up on this, right?
No. I was about to. I was publicly shamed by you, Kyle, several others, Twitter.
Oh, I'm glad that peer pressure was.
Yeah, I'm easily manipulated by the opinion of others. All right, that's it there. That's all for me from Marvel.
Yeah, I got nothing really in Dynamite. Just a continuing series for Barbarella, Red Sonja.
Nothing happening in Boom for me.
Yeah, Lumberjanes 53 is about the biggest thing that I see.
Yeah, and so as we go down into the back half, we've got an Aspen 0 issue for $1.50 called Artifact 1. Like the price point, but Aspen stuff is hit or miss for me normally.
Mm-hmm. What else we got here? Anything, let's see.
Oblivion, with the 8 as the is that Oblivion 18N? Yeah. Looks like Oblivion, but there's an 18 where the I and the O would be, which is kind of dumb, right? Written by Ken Christensen with art by Francisco Gaston. On her 17th birthday, an overprotected girl violently defies her parents, vowing to lose her virginity if it's the last thing she does. Then her much older brother vanishes along with seemingly every authority figure. This is from Scout Comics. And I think I've got this on pre-order. Even though it's a dumb title.
Yeah. Got a Stabbity Bunny trade.
Yeah. I recommend this. If you haven't read it, it's a really good series. Surprisingly good.
And I'm all the way down on the Z's already, but Zenobra #3. This is a Scout comic book as well. This is a book that has sold out very quickly every time we've gotten it in. We've actually had a real good run of Scout comics lately. The Mall #1 was one of those. Zenobra's been great. So, and then Wasted Space through Vault Comics. We've had great sell-through on those. We've got the third printing of #1, second printing of #2, and first printing of #4.
Yeah, I think that's all I have. So I will give you honors. You can give me your spec pick, and then I will follow it up with my loser pick.
Oh boy. Well, this is kind of a tricky one.
There's lots of good stuff to choose from.
There is. I think that you can't go wrong with Die 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 number 2 because it was not something in previews. It may have been under ordered, so that would be one way you could go. I have a couple of alternates, but I'll let you pick yours first.
Well, mine was Die Die Die, so I have to go with my second one, which is also an Image, and I am going to go with Saga 54 second printing.
So I'm going to also throw in there, there's no reason not to. You might as well get Venom 5. There's been heat on almost every issue of it. And then honorable mention, because Kyle's not here, Teen Titans 21 Variant Edition.
True, good call. Very good.
Man, that's a cool cover.
Very good selection. All right. Anything else for the good of the order before we sign off?
I don't think so.
Well, I want to thank you again for spending some time with me tonight on a weeknight, on a work night. We're both very busy people and have to get up bright and early in the morning. But I want to thank you for your time, and you made this show much better than it would have been with just me. So thank you very much for that. We'll have ways to contact you in our show notes so that people can get a hold of you. Or get up on the call next week. So that's going to be awesome as well.
Sounds good. I don't know if I made it way better, but I know I made it way longer.
You always do. We can guarantee that. Well, thanks again, everyone, for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit.